Hi, Robin, and thank you for joining me on Talking Allergies.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
To start off with, Robin, could you talk a little bit about your organisation and what they do for people with allergies?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm fortunate to work for an organisation called Viatris. It's an organisation that was born in 2020, and it was born out of the amalgamation of a number of other organisations, including companies like Alpha Farm, Mylan, and Upjohn, which was a division of Pfizer. Um, it's been in its current format since 2020 and has over 1,000 different medications available to Australians currently. A mixture of generic medications, innovative medications, and over-the-counter medications, of which we have a high representation in the allergy and anaphylaxis space.
What's your role at the organisation, Robin?
So I'm fortunate enough to be head of marketing. So a very interesting role and a very diverse role covering those areas that I mentioned before, with a big team behind me.
What does your organisation provide for people with allergies?
So for allergies, we have a wide range of medications, both prescription, over the counter, medications including nasal sprays, oral antihistamines, creams, um, auto injectors, and with those medications, where possible, we have patient support programs to support patients on those treatments.
It's fantastic to hear that you're doing the work in the space and also providing some support as well. How long have you been providing this for people with allergies?
So whilst was formed in 2020, the organisations that it was an amalgamation of have had representation in Australia since 1982. When you sort of look across our portfolio of medications, probably the medication that people are most familiar with is EpiPen, which has been available in Australia now for 25 years, and obviously played a critical role in the management of anaphylaxis here. And long may it continue and be accessible to patients who need it in here.
How has your organisation seen an impact of allergies over the time?
Yeah, it's an interesting question because I was, as you do for these things, doing a little bit of additional research this morning. And one of the things we look at habitually at Viatris is sort of monitor what online searches there are for areas or therapeutic areas of interest to us. And I was looking this morning, and for the month of October, there was over 22,000 searches on anaphylaxis in Australia alone, which shows that there continues to be a huge unmet need in the community. There's an appetite for quality education and health literacy around that, and that's something that is growing. It's anticipated around 1 in 5 Australians will have some sort of allergy or anaphylactic condition, which is the highest in the world, is my understanding. So it shows that it's a growing problem. And with those online searches, shows that there's a growing need to give accessible, understandable, digestible information, education to those that need it most.
Has your organisation done anything to adapt to this over time?
Yeah, there's a number of ways, and again, the key to anything that we do has to be in response to an identified or validated need, or something that's been identified by the healthcare community. Things that immediately come to mind in terms of recent advancements or progression that we've had is around access. So making sure that the medications are accessible to the patients at the right time, in the right way. And a classic example of that is the recent downscheduling of Dymista Allergy, which is an intranasal spray, steroid and antihistamine, which is now available over the counter. It's cheaper. You don't need to go to the doctor to get a script. And that's I think a very effective way for medications to become more accessible to the broader community.
More access is so important. Was there anything that you or the organisation has learned from experiences supporting people with allergies?
I mean, first and foremost, a tremendous burden it has on people and their families. I mean, it's heartbreaking the alarming regularity you see of some of these tragic events that you see happening in the community. So it's something that I think is growing in consciousness, but also the seriousness of it as well, and particularly for my generation to be educated, as a parent. When I have my son's friends and they're carrying an EpiPen with them, and yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't know, I wasn't aware of how to use it until I was exposed to to this area. And so my awakening is how prevalent it is, and the need to be educated and to know not only for your own family but for people that you're around who are also reliant on medications to respond to any severe allergic reaction. So as an organization, we recognize the privilege, and also it's incumbent on us to make sure that we are adapting to the needs of the community and the increasing demand, and partnering with organizations like your own to make sure again that the information education is available to people at the right time.
Is there anything with people with allergies that can expect from Beatrice in the future?
Just our continued commitment to make sure that people in the community are well educated, as I say, in a digestible and understandable manner. Again, the healthcare industry is notorious for using words that don't necessarily translate well down to the community level. So making sure that is there. I mean, the other thing I think is, when you look at the broader healthcare community, there is advancements on the horizon, not just with Viatris, but with other organisations, which I think will have a profound impact on the management of anaphylaxis in Australia. So I think we should take a lot of heart from that, and there should be some excitement and hope that comes with it as well.
Is there anything else that you would like to say to the allergy community?
I think obviously patients get the medication, but a lot of the time the medication is just the beginning. One of the things that we're particularly proud of at Viatris is our patient support programs, and My EpiPen is a great example of that. I guess one of the things I'd put on people's radars is the existence of that patient support program. There's a lot of valuable tools, materials, and resources that can support patients and their families in the management of anaphylaxis. And it would be something I'd strongly encourage them to be a part of, to create that support network and have access to that quality education when needed. So that would be something I'd probably like to put out there.
Where can they find that information, Robin?
Just in search, if you put My EpiPen in the search function, it will take you through to the website, and you can get dummy devices there that you've got access to practice the administration of EpiPen, which is obviously critical, because we know that what you do in a calm, considered manner versus what you do in a high stress, anxious situation is very, very different. So to have access to that and to be able to practice that, I think, is particularly critical. So I would strongly recommend patients, where it's relevant, to be a part of that program.
That's fantastic to hear. Definitely a great resource.
Absolutely.
Where can we learn more about Viatris?
Look, again, Viatris is very active in the social media platforms. I'm not personally, but I know Viatris is. But we've got our own website, which is www.viatris.com. And as I read the Instagram, because Instagram's not something that I'm on either, at Viatris Inc. as well as on LinkedIn. But that's probably the best way to see the sort of work that we're doing.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Robin, for coming to join us on Talking Allergies today, and for your time in talking a little bit about Viatris as well.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me, Grace.